Hey family, it's Raw Day. Raw Day. Raw Day is Sunday. And you guys are doing, your church and things. And we're coming up on this social holiday, what you guys call in Christmas. And it's attached to and associated with the Christian religion. I departed from that. And, I was recently listening to one of my Baba Dr. Ray Hagin. I'm so glad to see him back up and about. He was hospitalized, and thanks to the divine that he is in recovery, and we're happy that he's doing well. But he did a post today about the seductive nature of this holiday season, and I felt like I would come back and piggyback on that a little, parting from my Christian journey and my personal reasons for doing that. I learned the Christian journey from a perspective that was very oppressive, and it was a lot of pressure in my environment from family, community, etc., to memorize the Bible, participate in activities, nativity scenes, and to do the Christmas pageant, and to be an usher and sing in the junior choir, all those things. But as I grew and I became an adult, I had a different analysis that I begun to do as I did my research, study that shows you I self-approve, and I begun to do study. And the study pieces took me through, the Emerald Tablets, the Sumerian text, and the Metal Netter, and Yoruba, Ifa, different schools of thought through my processing of re-educating myself, and also Eastern philosophies and different theories, Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, different thought processes over the next 15 years, 20 years or so, of submersive research, because my intention was to find the things that empower. And I didn't find empowerment in Christianity. I didn't find any empowerment in Christianity. And as I researched and looked at my environment, interacted with the people in my environment, I didn't see anything particularly different about them than people in the world. They just did it they were deceptive, they lied, they manipulated, they mistreated people, they were harsh in judgment. In all the ways that Christianity that teaches you not to be. So I didn't want those things. I wanted human development. And when I looked at the Christian journey, I looked at the Abrahamic religions, and they came so late on the human development scale, I'm like, it doesn't look like those things did any upgrades to humanity. In fact, it looked like it devolved humanity's, the development of the human spirit. I feel like, from what I read from the Sumerian text, from Eastern philosophies, from Ifa, from the Metal Netter, from different schools of thought, different from the Abrahamic religion, I discovered that when I look at it from an intellectual perspective, those faculties didn't upgrade humanity. It didn't upgrade the human development scale. I feel like the Abrahamic religions are based in greed. They were based in someone wanting to be exalted. It didn't appear to be an experience of balance, societal balance. It didn't appear to be personal responsibility. Even the Christian Bible, when you look at different texts, you look at the text the text is created based on what the people of that society needed at that time. And it looked like the people was dealing with a lot of lack, and they needed an escape. And they needed a directive, somewhere to direct their attention to look for responsibility. The things that were in lack, food, necessities, and basic necessities, it didn't appear that life was built for people to be responsible for themselves. And as I realized, as I began to grow older, and I saw that there were shifts in the Christian environment, I saw this prosperity concept, passing through all these different religious spaces where people focus heavily on the getting. It wasn't your input, cause and effect. Because you did this, benefit and blessings came. Faith without works is dead. It looked to me like people begun to bargain with God. They begun to pretend holy. And I saw and see a lot of that today, because 95% of the circumstances that I've lived have been at the hands of Christians. And some of these things were very basic in basic human interactions with human beings. And it's very specific in your Christian Bible. Love each other as I've loved you. Jesus loved the church enough to die for the church. So love each other. Do unto others, you have others to do unto you. I looked into the society, and it was my analysis of what I was looking for my personal and spiritual development and human development that I was not finding in the Christian theory and Christian community and the body of people that engage in Christianity. What was I looking for? The Christian Bible tells you to come out from among them. The Christian Bible tells you can't pour new wine into old wineskins. The Christian Bible, you're supposed to look different. You should not look exactly the way these people do. How do you go have a pimp go to be from a pimp to a bishop? But not that you cannot, because Malcolm X went from being this person, and once right knowledge came to him, he became that person. There was a very staunch difference in who he evolved into as opposed to who he used to be. You cannot be a pimp and come into the Christian church and bring your pimpology with you into the pulpit. But we accept that today as Christianity. You cannot be, dropping like it's hot and doing all those things that you do in the world, right? That theory that happens in the Christian verbiage, and then come into the Christian experience and then plan to demonstrate wisdom to the young people, and you basically just put on a new costume, but you still have the same behaviors as you did when you were in the world. It said, be thou transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if your mind is new, as Malcolm X, you see his transformation from who he used to be when he was in ignorance and who he then became when he entered enlightenment. And when he entered enlightenment, he looked completely different. And then I also read in the Christian Bible, just to refer to my foundational knowledge base and how I extracted right pathways and my ability to gain knowledge to move me into enlightenment and to utilize, because those things are bits and pieces of previous knowledge sets now infused into this space and fashioned in such a way and presented to the people. And, I came to that understanding. And I said, if you come out from among them and you shouldn't appear to be as they do, there should be something staunchly different about who I am being in the world space that should lend to my spiritual evolution, my human evolution. I read in the Christian Bible, it says, the way to unrighteousness is broad and wide. Many there go. And it says the way to righteousness is narrow, few there be that find it. So if that be the case, I gotta look at my environment and say, where's the balance? Where's the Ma'atian? And then once I started looking down the Nefera and I started looking into the Kemetic science, and then I said, may your heart be as light as a feather. I said, And the Bible also says, Lord, search my heart to see that it is pure. So the Bible says, search my heart and see that it is pure. Kemetic science says, may your heart be as light as a feather. So that when you meet Anubis at the crossroads, when you weigh your heart against the feather, right, may your heart be as light as a feather. Which means that your sin cup, your violations against humanity did not create weight in your heart. Because people know when they mistreat me. They know when they avoid. They escape. They know when they violate the Most High. The Bible says, should a man rob God? Right? I saw a preacher preach a whole 2 hours on that. Should a man rob God? I'm just saying. So when we make the analysis in this, and I also looked at it in terms of social behavior, and I realized that people use the Christian Bible as a means of escape. They're looking for someone else to come do the work where they don't have to do the work. They're looking for a emotional support tool so that they don't have to be foundationally responsible for actions that will enhance their life experience, that will change their physical environment, that will heal and grow the relationships among people, because life happens in people. Life all is foundation in relationships with other human beings. What we have experienced as getting has been a shift in the consciousness based on the individuals who have created that Abrahamic space, which is foundationed in greed. Cell phones. Your computer used to take up half of your desk. Computer is this big. It's now your computer is half an inch thick, 5 inches in your hand. That's an upgrade. Christianity did not upgrade humanity's evolution. It did not upgrade people's capacity. In my opinion, when I research Eastern theory and philosophies and their religious ways of being, and I look at the Nefera, I look at Sumerian texts, I look at, these various ways of thinking and processing our lived experience, the Abrahamic religions devolved people. it didn't upgrade us in any way. So when I'm looking at evolving the human spirit, I'm looking at the tools and faculties that we use in order to be better, in order to learn this life. You know, this last leg of the human existence on the planet happened, and you know, this Christianity entered the space, and you know, all of basically human evolution, some of the most amazing things with humanity had already happened long before this entered the space. So I want to go back to the beginning. What did we use to get us here? How are the people that are here now, how are they still here? Because clearly our ancestors, 100 ancestors back, 1,000, 4,000 ancestors back, apparently they did something right, because we're still here. We're not doing the right thing with our opportunity that we're here, but they definitely did something right, because those pieces showed up long after all this evolution and all these things had already occurred. So I'm looking for the possibility, the best possibility of what I am capable of, because it's me versus me. It's me reaching my highest possibility and then hopefully imparting and supporting others in that process, in the learning and development piece. Because I believe that the minds that have created this environment have taken that away from human beings' commitment to their personal evolution. And your personal evolution is specifically stamped in you being the best contributor to the whole. What can you give to the environment? How can you be in service to other humans? Everything about this lived experience directs you away from that reality. It makes you individualistic, selfish, and it makes you focus on yourself. And when you focus on yourself, you will mistreat other people. And at this moment in time, people mistreat and they walk away and they don't even think about it twice. Because to them, it's a reflex. Anything you practice, you get good at. That bad behavior is now installed in the social culture. That's a problem. So I don't live for that. I live for the possibility of what we can be, what we were, what we can be, who we can evolve to. And if we look at that as our highest possibility, Christianity and the Abrahamic religions don't deliver that. They're not functionally, they don't add and lend anything of positive commitment to that space. People don't need crutches. People need personal responsibility. They need to be empowered to take personal responsibility to impact their lives. They need to feel confident, which is called self-efficacy, that they can impact their lives and do it positively, outside of the mind of selfishness, outside of the mind of individualism, inside of the mind of do unto others as you would have others to do unto you. Do exactly to somebody else, which is what I do, how I live. Do exactly to somebody else what you would want someone else to do to you. Nothing else matters. Anything else you do, if it doesn't to that end, it's a problem. Because to service to one another, your Christian Bible says, how can you say you love God whom you've never seen and hate your brother whom you see every day? See, these are the things that convict Abrahamic religions. If they don't show up in consistency and in harmony with this rhetoric, which is the foundation of your reading, it's a null and void. And the people haven't mastered that. The people have mastered putting on a costume and pageantry, which is now about to happen, which our Baba Ray Hagin, Dr. Ray Hagin speaks about today in terms of the subtle beguile and manipulation of these holiday seasons. So thank you guys for coming in. I'm your sister Nefera, your Pan-African Transformational Coach, and your Minister of Learning and Development. We're going to build on these African-centered life skills little by little. Yeah, I'm always on the go, guys. So I come in and get with you in this way. So I was so inspired. So please stay connected. I post videos pretty frequently. I have gotten now this invigorated commitment. I will be here with you. We will move this journey together, because now more than ever, we really need Ubuntu. We really need to come together. I am because we are. Sawubona Africa, and I see you. And namaste, the divine in me honors and respects the divine in you. We here are a stand for the ascending of the African soul and the opening of the African spirit. Peace and blessings.